everyone. Happy Thursday. Nearly the end of the week, and it feels like it's been a really long week. What has everyone been up to? Let us know in the comments. A few of you watching tonight might have already heard some of our artists' songs earlier in the week if you were listening to City Park Radio. So hopefully you did, and you let us know if you were listening. We might welcome into the room Jamie Lindsay. Hi, thank you.
Thanks for having me, and hello to all your listeners and streamers and all that cool jazz that we're able to do in 2020.
Isn't it great?
So cool. Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we get to bring you home, even though it's just on the on the screen.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize that I was going to be broadcasting to Tasmania today. This is awesome because, yeah, that's where I'm from. I'm from Launceston originally, and there's always a really soft spot for Launceston in my heart. Hobart, not so much, but definitely Launceston. There's always that the north and south thing, you know.
Yeah, very much. I don't mind going to visit Hobart, but I've got to come back because the beer is better up here. So you got to come back.
Bogues is way better, man. Bogues is way better than Cascade. I mean, I'm probably going to have this argument with the Wolf brothers at some point, but that's all right. I can look after myself, so that's okay. But
and I mean, Nick lives in the north now, so he might have changed. He might have got some sense in beer taste.
He does, and I can't believe it snowed. For the whole time I lived in Launceston, I've never seen it snowed. And I obviously I saw photos, but I spoke to my family who are all still there. My dad's in Hasburn, my mum's up at Fingal, my sister. I have two sisters. One of them lives in Lilydale, the other one lives in Lagana. And they were all just like snow.
It was incredible. I'll when we're finished, for anyone watching, I'll put some photos of my place in the comments at the end. But I've never seen it like it. It was incredible. I measured the snow on my car windscreen before I drove because it took a long time to clean my car windscreen off, and it was over 3.5 inches on my windscreen thick. Wow. I measured it. Yeah, it was incredible.
I'm jealous because I never got to experience that growing up. I mean, it's bloody cold down there, but it never got that cold.
No,
snowed. Definitely Hobart. I've been into certain places of Hobart, and it's definitely snowed when I was a kid, but not Launceston. Plenty of rain. But,
1921 I think was the last time we had snow in Launceston. Wow. So you might never get to see it again. It might be the last.
I probably won't, but never say never. And look, I mean, I'm scheduled to come back in November. It's my dad's 70th in November, and I was planning a trip, but it's all up in the air now, depending on what happens with the borders and stuff. So, if everyone just does the right thing, I think we can overcome this. I think hearing about the vaccine's been very positive. But who knows? It's been a crazy year.
It has. It's been really crazy. And I think, as I was saying on the last time I did a show, I said it was it's been a crazy year and it's been really awful, but a lot of positives has come out of it. So I think one of them, I keep saying, this sort of platform has allowed a lot of people to get out and about still. So it's been fantastic in that respect.
Yeah, it definitely has. And I think from a musician's point of view, we've definitely had to reevaluate because our industry's just, been completely wiped out. And so we've all had to take a bit of a step back. I'm doing a lot more studio stuff. I've got a recording studio here at home, which has been amazing. And up until when COVID hit, I was doing 4 or 5 shows a week. And that's what I've always done since I was about 17. So I've always been a major part of the live scene, especially around Sydney and the Central Coast. I do a lot of private functions. I do a lot of weddings, and I do a lot of clubs and pubs, and that's what I do, and that's how I, make my living essentially. When COVID hit and everything just stopped, the best thing about that is that I got to spend more time at home with my family. I've got a beautiful wife, and I got a little 3-year-old, and she's a handful. So being able to have movie nights on a Friday and Saturday night with my wife has been amazing, sensational. But with the studio, because I've done a few other artists in the past, but I haven't done a lot because I haven't had the time. I've always been gig, and that's always been my priority. With all this happening, I've kind of thought, okay, well, I've got all this, and I can produce other artists. So I've really been pushing that. It's been going great. I've got a couple of artists on the go right now. I've got a guy actually coming in about an hour working on some new songs. So, that's been really good because I've had the time and the space to kind of go, all right, well, I'm not out gigging anymore. What can I do? Okay, well, what I can do.
I don't know what happened there. We might just try adding back to the screen. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. The screen dropped down for some reason. I don't know. I think there's an issue. Is there an issue with it, Beck? Are we still live? We're still live, guys. So let us know in the comments if you can still hear us, because I think there might be an issue with the sound. It might have gone and then it went off the screen. I don't know what happened, but we're still live, so we're good. Sorry.
Wonderful. That's okay. That's right. So my point being is that I've had to switch things around again. I'm doing a lot more studio work now because I've got the time. So I'm producing more artists, which has been so good. It's been so great. I love the studio. I love performing. Definitely a performer at heart, but having more time to not just work on my stuff but work on other people's stuff. Being a songwriter producer for yourself is one thing. Producing someone else's songs that you haven't written, you get to kind of sit back and you get to treat it very differently. You're not emotionally attached to the song. No. It's not your product, so you get to think about things from a producer, from an engineer. They're the one that's performing, and I just have to make sure that I can capture their energy as opposed to worrying about capturing my energy, So that's been great. But essentially the best thing that's come out of all of this is just being able to spend more time with my family. And it's made me realize that once things do kick back into gear again, I definitely want to change the balance. I definitely want to not do as many gigs as I was doing before and just balance things out a little bit, because you do miss that.
Yes.
You definitely miss that. So and I cherish it more so than ever, and especially with the state of the world right now. So that's definitely a positive.
Absolutely. Do you find by producing other people's music, as obviously it's so different to your own, which is more pressure? Do you put more pressure on yourself when you're doing your own? Or?
Absolutely. It's hard, and I've, some songs come out really easy. They just, for whatever reason, they write themselves.
Right.
They record themselves, and then other songs I've spent weeks on the mix. I've redone, I've redone this, I've redone that, I've added stuff, and you get to the very end and you just scratch your head and go, well, I don't know if it's any better or worse, but I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm gonna walk away very slowly now, because I'm either, I don't know, I think other producers and other kind of engineers will know what I'm talking about. Sometimes things just go down really easy, and that's a beautiful thing, and that you're onto something really special. And there's other songs that take a little bit more work and a lot more work to squeeze that magic out of
the story.
And when you're producing someone else's songs, it's a very different dynamics. You don't, you just want to do the best for them.
Yes.
But you don't have that attachment like you do for your own stuff. So,
I guess, and I guess that's a good way that you look at your music, because again, that's how your current single Start Again started was by writing something and then completely starting over and doing it again. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I definitely can. I was signed to, I had a publishing deal with an American label. They were called Hitmakers Entertainment. The producer that I was working for, he's worked with Destiny's Child, John Legend, you know, some really big acts, and he's a world-class producer. And I was pretty much writing beats for him. Like, I don't know if you know what that is, but I was writing pop beats and stuff. So that was kind of my gig for him. And I would also send him songs to critique as well. I was writing pop stuff as well, but mainly beats. So basically I would write the beats and then I would send him those, and he would use those as like a bed for whoever he's working with at the time. And then I would get a credit for that, or like a royalty for that. And I would send him songs. And so I wrote a song called Smell the Roses. I produced it, I sang it, and I sent him that. And he wrote back, and he was, you know, he's very honest. Americans will definitely tell you what they think. And I love that about Americans, because, you know, life's too short for BS. You know, you just need to get down to the point, you know. So he was like, man, I really love the music. I think the lyrics are too corny. And I went, oh, and look, I'm all about you know, constructive criticism, you know, and I always take that on board. I don't have to act on it, but I can definitely take it on board, and I can evaluate that.
Yes.
And that's what I did. I kind of thought, okay. And the words that rang true to me was, he said, you can do better.
Yes. And
I went, okay. All right. You know, he could have just said, ditch that idea, that's crap. But he didn't. He said, you know, I love the music, but the lyrics are corny and you can do better. I think you should start again.
That's exactly
okay, cool. And so what I did, Danny, was, you know, I scrubbed my vocal. I got rid of my vocal. And then I had a piece of paper and I wrote Start Again up the top. Right. Okay. And that became my working title.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Start Again. All right. Well, yeah, maybe it's time to start again. Maybe I've been in prison. Maybe I've done some wrong things in my life. Maybe I've made some bad choices in my life. Maybe it's time that I turn all that around. Maybe it's time that I get some, you know, some redemption. You know, maybe it's time that I talk about hope, and that, you know, humanity is all about making mistakes and learning from them. And at any point in time, you can just stop, and you can just decide to turn your life around and start again. Once I had that direction, once I had that idea, that concept, within an hour or two, it was done.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's why I say, like, some songs just go bleh, and they're out and they're done. And then some songs take weeks to write, weeks, months to write, and then you're still changing stuff, you know. Start Again was just really easy. And then I sang it. I sent it to him, and he went, yeah, pretty good. That was
that's all you needed.
That's all I needed. At that point, I knew I was onto something really cool anyway. And I thought, no, this has actually turned out really well. Talking about a guy, you know, going down to the river, putting his head in the water and waiting for that sun to just fill up his soul so that he can rise back up again and start his life again, you know, walk down a new road, walk down a new path, and, you know, get his life back.
Yes.
And that's what I envision. Now, I'm not that religious. I did go to Sunday school when I was living in Hadspen and growing up, because that was the community thing. It's a very country thing, is you go to church.
Yeah.
And that's how the communities get together. And that's what I do love about churches, is it's a good way to get communities together.
Yes.
And in a small town like Hadspen, where I grew up, that's what we did. We went to church, you know, and we would know the whole town, you know, because it's such a yeah. And it's the same as like Evandale, you know, these small towns, they're built around the church, you know, they're built around the community. But as I grew up, the whole religious side of me didn't really stick with me. And if anyone out there is religious, you know, I'm all for that. You know, I'm not that religious. I just believe in being a good human and having good morals, and that's enough for me.
Yes.
But this song can be really taken quite religious. In fact, it can be taken any which way you want it. The song's about hope. You know, the song's about new beginnings, making new choices, and trying to get some redemption.
Yep. And I tell you, it's a beautiful song. And I've heard it, I've listened to it a few times, but I heard it on the radio this morning for the first time. And I think there's always something different about when you listen to something played on the radio. And I was driving to work and I was thought, oh, it's an uplifting song. It's a positive song. And it just reminds you that it doesn't matter if you've done something wrong or done something bad. It doesn't mean you can't turn around from here. Because I think sometimes we get so stuck in when something's not right that we forget we can change that. We can,
especially men too, you know, like, because especially men can be very stubborn with their feelings, and and you know, like it's somewhat hard for them to admit that you know they're wrong, or you know, what they're doing in their life is wrong. So yeah, I think it's quite broad. And look, to me, the idea of success is not selling millions of copies of the song. The idea of success is connecting.
Exactly.
So by you saying that you're connected to it and you were moved by it and you felt something from it, that's success to me, because that's what you want out of your music. If you can get that, and if you can get that connection with people, that's at a level far greater than money.
Yes.
Far greater.
I think as a musician, that's what musicians need, because that's when it starts to become genuine. You're writing something for the right reasons, and people start to feel that, I think, when it comes across. We've actually got some people that have popped into the room to say hi. Chris has popped in. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. If I put it on the screen, can you see that? There. It's Chris. Yes, he said hi, guys. He also know that we've still got sound, which was wonderful.
Oh, good. We need sound.
We do need sound. Then we've just got another one. Is that coming up? Yes. If you want snow, I can show you snow. we didn't need any more snow. I was happy with it for the first few hours, and then after that, driving around work, going to different people's houses, I was ready for it to not be cold anymore. And Roy,
let me just tell you something. That last person that popped up, that's Marcelo. He's my manager. He's in Finland.
Oh.
So if you want to talk about snow, he knows it. He wins. Launceston.
Photos in the comments.
That's right.
Not take the cake there.
Yeah, that's okay. You weren't to know, but I saw that and I went, you cheeky thing, because I mean, Finland, man, snow, you know, it's like there's more snow than anything else, you know.
You can keep it. You can keep it.
Yeah, so cool. Hello everyone out there. And hello Launceston, and yeah, it's great that you guys are tuning into this show. This is great. You know, I really appreciate you having me on here, Danny. It's my pleasure. Absolutely.
Now, I know it's not far away, so I'm hoping you're happy to talk about it. You have an album coming out on the 11th of September, titled 11th. So just that is. Are you happy to have a chat and tell us a little bit about that? Because
I'd love to. Yeah.
How long have you been writing for the album?
Years. These are songs that when I decided, so I decided that I didn't want to write all this stuff I was doing for this publishing label. I just thought, what am I doing writing pop beats? Seriously. And I kind of got to that point where, I was kind of fading into the background. I was still doing gigs, but I was very much in the background. I wasn't really pushing myself as an artist or even really wanting to be. I had a rock band, a fairly big rock band here in Sydney around about the 2010, and that was called Kings, Queens and Fairy Tales. Once that dissolved, I did a couple of solo things. I did like a singer-songwriter EP, and then I did another one, and then I did a couple of different things, and I just wasn't sure where I was going. I've never stopped writing country music. I've always, for whatever reason, I'll just write a song, and I'm like, oh, well, that's a country song. What am I going to do with that? Oh, I'll just shelf it, because I had no vehicle, I had no platform. I wasn't pushing country music. I got out of country music, and so I literally I just didn't have a vehicle. I never stopped writing country music. Some of these songs are quite old, and I literally I brought them in. I was like, okay, I want to put an album together, and I've got lots of songs that didn't make the album. I wanted to give my listeners a bit of a variety of what I can do. There's a bit of country rock. There's a bit of rock. There's a duet on. There's a really nice duet. There's a couple of ballads. There's Start Again, which is kind of gospel.
Yes.
There's a song about my dog. And like it's a bit of a roller coaster ride. The number 11 has always been close to me. It's my birthday as well. I've got a lot of 11s happening in my life. I always have.
Yes.
And I wanted to just, once again, I just want to be real about all this. I don't want to have some fabricated thing. I want my songs don't sound like they come out of Nashville. Don't care. I really don't care. I want people to get to know me through my songs and through my production, and that's cool because it's a journey for me as much as it is for my fans. I want them to grow as I grow. I'll get a better songwriter. I'll get a better producer, and my songs will show that, and my fans will grow with that. Yes. I have no plans to go to Nashville. I love Nashville. I've been there twice. I love it so much. Do I want to move there? Hell no. I love Australia so much. And when you travel around a lot, you realize this country's the best.
This is home
place. So I've got no grand desire to move to Nashville. I'd love to tour there. I'd love for my music to connect there. Absolutely. But I want to build something in my backyard. I want to build something here. I want to tour around here. I want to be like Lee Koenig and Troy Casadale, like those guys. I want to be a name here. Be Australian. Be proud of that.
Yes, absolutely. You saying that makes me very excited to hear your album because it sounds like it's a really good journey, and I love hearing that in an album, and I also really look forward to how you've mixed it and what songs come where and that journey, because that tells a whole nother story in itself. So I'm very excited to hear that.
Thank you, Danny. Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited.
There's a link here that Beck has popped up for your music as well. So
gosh, she's good.
If you guys at the show, go back through the comments. You'll be able to see that link. So don't forget, because you'll have a pre-order up for 11, will you? You're going to have a pre-order as well?
Absolutely.
Excellent. And if people want to keep an eye on that, is the best place to look for you on Facebook or Instagram? Where's the best place?
Absolutely. Those platforms are amazing. They're Fantastic. So, Jamie Lindsay Music, Spotify, Facebook. I also have a website. There's not a lot happening there. There's probably a lot more information on the social pages. It's just the way of the world. I will have hard copy CDs available to buy on the website. I'm a big believer in that. I've got a nice couple of little photos of me in there and the people who played on the record and who were very much a part of like the making of the record. This album, I tell you now, I'm not going away. Like, I'm back. I'm back for good, and I'm back to country, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be this old school crooner that's just going to keep smashing out albums year after year. And look, I've already started working on the next record. If you want to just have a quick look, that's the next record.
Oh my goodness,
that's the next record. Right? No, that's right. Well, I'm a songwriter, and so it's what I do. It's what I do, and it's what I've always done, and I absolutely love it. So, as much as I'm excited on the record, and I can't wait for everyone to hear it, and I can't wait to get out there and play it live and tour it and get a hot band together and come down and dance and get drunk with you all and just sing at the top of my lungs and just, but I'm also very focused on the next record because I want to have that out next year as well. So I'm probably going to write about 30 songs.
Yes.
I've got about 24 at the moment. So I've got another 6 songs to write before. I like to have about 30 songs, and then I'll cut that down to about probably 11 or 12, depending on how I feel. Of like the best ones that I think represent me the best at the time. So
perfect. Well, I am very excited to hear all your next lot of music. You are planning on touring when you can get back out there. Are you going to come back down here and do a show? I know you're coming down for the birthday, but you're coming back down here as well.
It's been very difficult because normally I would have shows booked to go along with all the press that we're doing, and it's kind of there's a piece of all this that's missing because our hands are tied. I would love to say yes, Launceston, Hobart, I'll be down on the blah blah blah. I just
not yet. You'll be able to do that soon. Definitely.
I will. When that happens, I'm definitely coming down. As I said to you before we went live, it's my father's 70th in November, so I'm really hoping that, like, that I can get down there and that everyone's safe and like borders are open and all that. But if they're not, they're not. And that's right.
That's right. We'll work our way around it, and we can always do next year. So Troy is just asked, where will you play live? Have you got anywhere that's your bucket list that you haven't played live yet?
Oh, everywhere. You name it. I will come and play. I will come and play at in your kitchen if I have to. I will set up in your lounge room.
We'll do a country kickback show from the kitchen next time.
That could be cool. I will play. If I get the call and if the demand is there, I'm there. I'm bringing a shit hot band with me, and we are going to do it large. And that is the country way. We just need to get the borders open, and we can start definitely looking at Tassie's a no-brainer. It's where I'm from. It's an absolute no-brainer.
Tassie's a no-brainer for anyone. Who wouldn't want to be here?
Exactly.
Troy said, can you cook? Maybe we could do, get back in and we could be doing some sort of cooking and singing show. Singing, because I'm not.
Can I cook? Listen, my wife is an amazing cook and I am spoiled. I do Mondays and Tuesday nights. It's my turn to cook. How grateful, right? I cook the same thing every week, man. I can do really good veggies and gravy and schnitzel's. That's my specialty. But my wife just, you know, she spoils me. She's the cook. She looks after me. I'm punching way above my weight on that one. Way above my weight. I did really well there. I did really well. Yeah.
Very lucky.
I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky. Yeah, absolutely. So, but as far as cooking goes, I should probably learn to cook a few more things. I think I should. Yeah, I probably should. Maybe now's the time. Maybe I can get into
challenge for you next time you come to Tassie. Learn something new, and we can go live while he's doing it for you, Troy.
That would actually be really cool. That would be so cool to do that. Be like, yes, so now we're putting the olive oil in, and we're chopping up the tomatoes, and here's a country song.
We could have a prepare one earlier, just in case the one we're cooking live fails. Yeah.
Exactly. Here's one that I didn't stuff up. Here it is.
That's right. Oh, dear. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you've got a busy night ahead, but before we go, again, guys, the pre-order link is there for you. I'm going to get up on the screen now. There we go. Pre-order Jamie's album 11. It will be out on September 11. And head over to Facebook. It's Jamie Lindsay Music. Isn't it on Facebook? Is that right? Yes, Jamie Music.
Correct.
And on Instagram, and check out all of them and the website, but make sure you jump on and pre-order the album, because then you'll have it ready for September 11. Thank you so much for joining us. We will definitely have you back again very soon.
I would love that anytime. I could even sing some songs live whatever you need.
Fantastic.
I'm there. I could definitely it's like that far away from me. My guitar is that far away from me. Whenever you need something, you let me know. I'll be there, Danny. For sure.
That sounds fantastic.
Related, so it's all good, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We are. We figured this out earlier tonight that you know, we're actually related. Our parents probably grew up in the same town, which is very small, very small town. I don't even know what the population would be. It would not be many.
Not many at all. Not many at all.
100, I don't reckon.
Funny, because my father worked for your family's company for most of his life. You know. And I grew up around the shores, you know, absolutely. Alwyn Cranston Shore, you know, these were all people that I grew up around. You know, they were friends and work colleagues of my father, and were very much a part of my life. So it's crazy, Danny, that
it's incredible, isn't it?
Very Tasmanian of us.
How I did not figure it out before tonight, but just before we went live, we worked out that we were probably cousins and probably seen each other quite a bit, I would say, over the years.
Probably so. It's crazy how connected we are down there, which is that's not a bad thing.
Very Tasmanian.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you taking the time, and anytime you want to have a talk again, you let me know, and I will definitely be there.
We will love to. So thank you, and thank you, guys. We will see you. I'll be back on Monday night. It's the 24th on Mondays. Yes, with Will Day, and I think we've got another 2 more shows coming next week on top of that as well. So have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you then.